Because I am so excited about the person you are about to meet. I'm sure you've met him before, but here's the deal. If you're a leader and you're leading people or you're helping your people to lead people, if your team is doing content, but nobody's actually changing because of it, you don't have a content problem. You have an impact problem. And we're going to show you how to change that because in a world obsessed with artificial intelligence, AI, the real AI that's going to determine who wins, well, I'm going to let Josh share what the real AI is. And if your short form video isn't earning real attention or driving action, you're just a part of the noise. So today on Leadership Live, we are breaking down how leaders can use short form video to cut through the chaos, build trust at scale, and turn every view into momentum for the business. I'm thinking, man, this is so cool. The guy that we're going to be with, Josh Pitts. He's been through the industry from the bottom to the top. He now is on a sailboat in Panama. He's like every time I talk to him, he's in a different place. Blue water behind him for those of you who are hunkering down for the winter storms. But Josh Pitts is the head of Shred-it Media, and this is what they do. This is what they've been doing. So if you're someone that knows that it is about the impact that you're creating, and you know that there's something in social media you just haven't unlocked yet, tune in today. Josh Pitts, welcome.
What's up, Donnie? Oh my gosh, what an amazing introduction. I'm very fortunate and blessed to talk with amazing companies and people in leadership all over the world and within the mortgage and real estate industries in particular. That's in my background, like you said, but I can't think of a better intro I've had in quite some time. So I'm so very grateful. I'm honored to be hanging out with you, the entire Fuel leadership community. So I am stoked to be getting into this conversation because now more than ever, we're getting ready to go into a new year of 2026. Not sure when this is going to air or when everybody's listening to it, but it doesn't matter. This is important whenever, wherever you are within business, within leadership. So I could not be more excited to be diving into this topic with you, my friend.
Let's go then. I need to know, Josh, before we go deeper into this whole awesome journey, where did you begin this thing? Like, because I'm looking through, let's see, University of Utah, loan officer at Community Lending Group, senior loan officer. Like something happened to you at some point where your brain popped, your heart exploded, you saw something new. Like, how did your Shred-it journey begin?
Yeah, so interestingly enough, Donnie, I have been in the mortgage industry. I was a junior LO, then a loan officer, worked my way up to be a branch manager. Then I owned a mortgage company in the state of Utah. And then it was just after that time where we were actually utilizing social media to grow our company. I was like, you know what? There's something more here, and there's something I really enjoy. And I had a few experiences with social media that really shaped my entire career. My very first this is no joke, very first mortgage transaction years ago when Facebook was even in its infancy. I made a simple post about being a loan officer. They reached out to me. This was after I was like my own LO, not a junior. And a friend reached out and said, "Hey, we're looking at getting a mortgage." Long story short, that's where my first mortgage came from, was from a Facebook post. And so it always was at the back of my mind. And then for years with our mortgage company, we were using social media content. And then in like about 2008 and 2018, 2019, I was at a mortgage event and somebody asked me the question of like, "Hey, you built your company off of social media, or you're growing your company off of social media. Do you think you could teach other companies to do that? Like, is social media really going to have a place in mortgage and real estate? Or is it just another fad?" And I'm like, and this was 2019, so it had already been there. But Donnie, I was like, not only is social media going to be such a huge part of mortgage and real estate, if you're not doing it now, you're going to be left behind. The mortgage industry, it's always evolving, it's always changing. And the person that I was talking to, like, well, you should start an agency. You should start a media company around that and teach people out. And I'm like, done. So I left my mortgage company. I started Shred Media at the time. And now it's evolved to where a few years ago, we launched Shred-it, which is our video editing app. Which you can get short form video editing right done on your phone. You literally, I always say it's as easy as record, upload, and back within your phone within 48 hours. And it's like having a full-time editing team in your pocket. I just realized, Donnie, through all what I had experienced in mortgage and real estate, the only way to truly build an online reputation, an online brand, as so many people call it, is you have to show up consistently. And our conversation today around AI, the world is full of AI. Full of AI, AI this, AI this, the Chat GPTs, the Gronks, the this, all the different platforms. And I think AI is amazing, but AI is just the beginning of the tool. And that's what people have to remember, because AI is the tool, artificial intelligence is the tool, attention and impact is the outcome at which
Mm,
you're trying to create with it. That's all, ultimately, that's why you're using these AI tools, is you're trying to build these relationships. You're trying to have attention and impact past clients, current clients, future clients, anybody and everyone with your community online. And there's a few things you need to be doing on a regular basis to create that attention. Because if you're not, if you're just looking for the newest, greatest, and latest tool, Donnie, you've been in this industry long enough. You've seen it. There's some amazing tech companies. Fuel is one of those that is
mhm.
breaking down the boundaries of technology and how we even process and how we learn, how we interact, how we look at attention, and how we create impact as leaders. And now more than ever, as we start to shift this idea of utilizing AI as the tool and having attention and impact be the outcome of this, we really start to look at, what am I doing right now? If AI makes you faster, but nobody's paying attention, it's absolutely useless. And that's what I keep like. You could have the best technology in the world. That's whether it's speed to contact or your CRM is keeping in touch with everybody. If it's not making an impact,
Hmm.
it really doesn't matter. And that's the crazy part of it. So you have to start thinking about, are you forgettable? What content are you putting out right now that is going to make you unforgettable, that is making that long-term impact in 6 months down the road, when somebody looks to go to buy a home or somebody looks to do a
Go
refinance or look,
go
then you're
deeper
like,
there.
yeah,
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
go deeper there.
go deeper because like talk to me about, and I love the idea just of like we're so fatigued, Josh, with all of these other dude, this software, that software. There's all of there every day. There's 1,000 apps that come out, right? That can help you to do
100%.
things faster, better. And like, the reality is or not, but I love the idea of what you said, attention and impact, because that's how we affect people. But talk to me about the forgettable and the unforgettable. Like, why is that important? And give me an example of what we could do to be forgettable if we want to, and give us a playbook for being unforgettable.
Let's dive. Oh, I like the playbook. Let's really dive into that. And sorry, my phone keeps adjusting. You go. Love Speaking of technology, I like the old days where my phone just stayed where the heck I wanted it to, and it didn't adjust to me. Think about this. Let's go deeper on this. Think about a creator or a brand or an influencer that you follow. You right now, everybody listening, I want you to think of somebody in particular. What do they have more of? Do they have more tech? Or do they have more attention and impact? Like, do they actually have more impact on you, your daily thoughts? And they have more attention and impact. The greatest people, I think of some of the greatest influencers, and he's top of mind for me because I still watch him. And some people are saying he's becoming more irrelevant, but I don't think so. Is Gary Vaynerchuk,
Hmm.
Alex Hormozy. These are big people in the creator space, at least, who for me do this the best. Let's just say the best at it. They have a ton of they sure they have some technology. Some people could argue with Gary and some of the things he's doing and this and that. Yes, he's surrounded by tech, but he has way more attention. He has way Alex Ramosi, same thing. He had a podcast about this similar topic not too long ago. That the attention that he has created over the years is worth way more than any company he's ever personally invested in. He's like, the people who are listening, the people that, because I have created impact with these people, they know who I am through the content, through my leadership videos that I put out. I have way more impact. If I told them to go do this, they would do it because of the relationship I've created, not because of some tech tool I put out. Same
100%.
exact thing. Like Shred It, yes, is it a tech tool? Absolutely. It helps us create content, but ultimately, you're trying to create the content that is having that relationship. That's what it all comes down. It's really not complicated. We as human beings, we look to AI so quickly because we think it's a shortcut. We think it's I'm going to get a tool. I'm going to go with the next biggest and latest and greatest tech, and it's going to shortcut my business success. It's going to shortcut how I get more opportunities. And that's never the case. Not
Mm,
anybody in at any time in any industry, whether it's mortgage, real estate, finance, whatever, there's no shortcuts. It comes over a long term, consistent growth pattern. And that's why attention and impact, in particular, when it comes to building a brand, comes to showing up there where people are at on a consistent basis, is so important. Because if you're
So,
not doing it, you lose.
dude, 100%, like it's interesting as you're talking, I'm like I'm over here writing notes, but it's like ink's flying everywhere. But the whole idea with as you're like I wrote down like with attention and influence as your AI, it's like you are the technology. And the
Mhm.
truth is, it's not like intelligence is great, but intelligence doesn't win. Execution on a consistent, you mentioned earlier, a consistent level, that's what wins. But can you bring us into, I want you to imagine you are um, maybe you're a real estate broker, maybe you're in your old world of mortgage, you're a branch manager, you're recruiting, maybe you are in some other, but you're leading a group of people who are selling technology, and they're trying to use um, social media. You're trying to use it, but we're probably doing it wrong. Can you give me the playbook for like the unforgettable? Like how does that like what can we do today that could start us down that path?
This is going to sound so, people are going to be like, well, duh. But it's so real, especially in the world of AI that we're talking about, Donnie, is you have to be real. And I know, hold, let me stay with me here. I'll explain this. But because we live in a world that is so easy to fake now, it's so easy to do AI generated content. There's even companies who are trying to fake the Donnie Tuttles of the world. You have to be at the end of the day. I literally, and I kid you not, I won't say names at all, but I had a really big company approach us and say, "Hey, Josh, we love Shred. We love what you guys are doing, but we want a company who can basically clone our loan officers so they don't have to show up at all. Like literally, we record them once, and you can go and you can make copies of them, and you can make content for them, and just mass distribute it." And I said, "Here's the problem with that is." The communities that they have, because people think about followers, they think about views, think about, you have to think about your online, and I use community, your online audience. I hate the word audience, but everybody says audience. You have to think about your online community, because
Hmm.
think about it in this way. We're in the holidays right now, and again, depending on when whether in the new year or right now, the holidays is a time we surround ourselves with the people we like, the people, our families, friends. We're literally going to parties, we're socializing with them. You have to compare social media to the same thing. You can't build a relationship with these people you're going to hang out with unless you have some type of human mutual interaction, whether it's a party, whether it's something like online. It can begin, but that's what we ultimately crave, is to be human, interacting one with another, shaking hands, celebrating these parties, celebrating the holidays. That's what we're ultimately after. And if you're not doing that same type of building relationships online via social media, if you're just having somebody clone you, people can see it, people can feel it. As a matter of fact, I'm in quite a few groups right now, Donnie, that, and it's called the worst of the worst. We see companies working with the AI technology companies to put out just AI generated content. Ladies and gentlemen, your customer sees through it. There's a very small amount of people who are like, "Oh my gosh, I saw this one post and I know it's AI, but I want to buy it today." People don't want that. AI, if they see an AI generated image, sure, it's intriguing, but that's just to start the conversation.
Yeah.
The biggest problem that we're seeing, and to your question, you have to be real in a way. If you're a branch manager, if you're a business owner trying to recruit new talent, people want to see you. People want to see the good, the bad, and the ugly of what's going on within your organization right now. And again, the AI tools that are out there can help you create that content. But one of the biggest mistakes that we're seeing right now is companies trying to replace themselves with AI totally. You started this podcast and you had a little slip up. I'm not trying to
Oh, man.
John
Yeah, I
at you
did.
in any
Yeah,
way,
right.
but it's
I did it on
real.
purpose because I knew you were going to teach from
Exactly.
it.
You knew I was going to come back to it, but that's what people want. As a matter of fact, with our editing teams right now, Donnie, we actually will let some of the little slip ups happen because we live in this polished world. You mentioned the noise of social media. Oh my gosh, how noisy has the world of social media become? It's crazy. Yet we as human beings still love spending time there. We want to spend time there. We're going to spend time there, but we can see through the real, we can see through the fake. And if you're really not being real in a world of AI, you are going to lose.
So be real. That's commandment one in like the deadly sin of we won't call it 11 labs, but whatever the deadly sin of replace, like don't do it. It's interesting. You were talking about that, and I was remembering. Oh my God, I remember one of the say when I first started getting good at sales was when I had a coach, and he had me get rid of all of the ums and ahs from my presentation. And after about 3 weeks, they were gone, and my results went down. And then he's like, okay, you can strategically put a couple of those back in. I just wanted you to be in control over it. But when you are too polished, people, they suddenly don't trust you. And it's interesting that like how many people have come to you, Josh, and they've been tempted by the Instagram effect, where it's like this filter, this song, the right lighting, the right whatever, or I have to come off as the smart guy or the tough guy or whatever it is, or the pretty one. How much can you help us to destroy the like? How can we destroy that Instagramization of things in our brain so we can step into the doing part? And I want to get into the doing next.
Yeah, we absolutely need to get into the doing because we want to make sure we walk away with those, or those who are here listening walk away with something that is actionable, that can make impact. But to get over this Instagram effect, as I love how you call it that, there's so many people in this world that they see the polish, they see even the videos from sure that looks amazing. I want more of that. I want this. Where you're starting out, wherever you're starting out, whether you feel like you're a seasoned pro or whether you're just starting to create content that you're hoping to share with your community to make an impact with those people around you, you have to remember that your videos in the beginning are going to suck. And honestly, I had a call with a gentleman not too long ago that he's just like, I am not willing to put out content that sucks. And I said, then social media is not for you. I
Ooh.
said, you have to be like, you have to. The problem of it, think about any of us. You mentioned, within your career, coach. You work with a coach that helps you take out the ums and ahs. We all work with people throughout our careers to get better. We don't just start immediately. Whatever industry you're in, whatever your career is, you didn't just one day turn on a light switch and know everything from front to back. You weren't an expert in your field. It takes time. Social media content is the exact same, and that's what this gentleman wanted to argue with me. He's like, well, that's why AI is such an amazing thing. It can make me look better. And I was like, you may think it makes you look better, but ultimately your community is going to see through the facade. They're going to see that it's not you. And I even argued with him. I will say this: the gentleman and his company ended up not using us, and he went with another company. And he actually messaged us shortly or recently saying, oh my gosh, yeah, I think you were right. Like our channel has lost views because, and I don't laugh intentionally, but he's like, I can't believe that this polished content that we thought was so important, it isn't.
Yeah.
We have to be willing to accept ourselves. Our human flaws and imperfections is how we are. And it's how our communities connect with us, Donnie. It's ultimately, again, there is strategery when it comes to a hook in the beginning of it and starting out a video, a piece of content to catch the attention. But it's also ultimately that long-term impact you're building through the content that you're sharing that makes that connection. And you have to remember, is this going to connect with them? Because if you're not connecting with people, if you're not building relationships at the end of the day through your content, again, you're just putting out noise. And that's what so many people put out right now. They don't think about it. They don't, and I'm not saying you have to overanalyze it. You just have to be willing to suck for a little while. You have to be willing
Mm.
to make mistakes. And you yourself have to be totally okay with it. When people come to us, I tell them, I say, your first 100 videos are going to suck. As this is really funny to be fast on this. My kids love Mr. Beast. I love Mr. Beast. He just put out a video that we watched together. The guy, his first 100 videos, if you don't know who Mr. Beast is, you need to go YouTube him. He's the biggest YouTube influencer of all time, but he talks about that his first 100 videos, they sucked. They were absolutely terrible. And now look at him. He has the most watched YouTube channel forever. No one's going to beat the numbers he's ever put up on his videos. But Donnie, he started and he was willing to say, hey, this isn't my forte. All of you, whatever career you're in, remember, you're not a social media influencer. I'm not asking you to be a social media influencer. I'm asking you to be you. That's all you need to be. Because ultimately, if you're Donnie or Susie or John or whoever you are, that's what you need to be, and that's what your community is going to appreciate.
I love it. I want to see if you can walk us through, Josh. I want maybe think of someone you've worked with, um, And I would like take us through the stages of, let's just say from zero. Maybe we've been resistant, but we've come closer. We said, okay, I won't resist. I'm willing to look stupid because I know that you can either learn or I can look good. I can't do both at the same time. So I'm willing to look stupid, and I'm willing to goof it for the first 100 tries. You've got the right heart, you've got the right mind, and they're coachable, they're leadable. Tactically, walk me through, and let's you can put them in any industry and bring them from like what are like the levels of yeah, let's get into strategy, right? What do we do level one, level two, and level three? And I have something that I want to throw at you because I've been doing some of this stuff, and so would love your live real feedback on it.
Yeah. So I have a perfect example. Somebody I've been working with for a couple of years. He came to us when we first. It was actually before we had even launched Shredded. It was when we were still our Shred U community. We were teaching people, mortgage, real estate, and other professionals how to create good social media content. And he's like, social media sucks. It doesn't work. I've tried it before. It's never going to work for me. I said, well, just do me this. Do me a favor. If you think that, I totally understand. But before you give up all hope, try this for me. Make 50 videos. 50 videos. You don't even have to post them, but I just want you to make 50 videos. Go create 50 videos. And then let's come back after time and let's talk about how you feel after that. So he did. And not only did he make the first 50 videos, but he ended up posting them. And he's like, they're terrible. Like, I feel like it's embarrassing. They suck. Da, 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 da. And he's like, but I did it. I'm like, well, how do you feel? And he's like, I feel empowered now. Like, I feel like I've got through these first 50 videos and then yes, they suck, but I know I can do it. It wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be to make 50 videos. And my goal is under 2 minutes. Like, hey, they don't need to be long. They need to be short, just 50. And you can do this over the next 6 months. He ended up doing it in way less than that, but he created these 50 videos. And after that, step one was creating the videos, and he did it. Step
So no
two,
other direction, just create
that was
50
it. Just
videos about
create.
it.
I just
Okay.
want you to create 50 videos. Just create 50 videos. And after the first 50 videos, he came back to me and he said, okay, like I get it. Like I'm kind of better. Like I feel like I've gotten to a place where I understand the game. I said, okay, now we're step two. Step two is now let's take all these videos that you just did and let's redo them. And he said, what? What? And I'm like, I want you to go redo every single one. Every single one that you did, you saved them, you posted them. I want you to go redo the exact same video. And he's like, why? Like, are you kidding me? Like, I already did them. And I said, you got to trust me. Just do it again. Do every single one of them again. And he was like, this seems useless. I don't get it. He went back and did every single one again, Donnie. And he crushed. Like he went back. He did it within like 6 days. He was like, I'm gonna do all these. I'm gonna show you this. I'm gonna. And he comes back to me and he says, I redid all 50 videos. And I'm like, well, how do you feel? And he's like, dude, I crushed them. Like I feel so like I listened to them and I just I'm like, oh, I get the point. I made them shorter. I made them more impactful. I made them just they look and they feel awesome. And again, this was no editing, Donnie. No editing at all. This was just like go in and create these videos. That's it. He came back to me and he's like, oh my gosh, like I cannot believe like just his confidence was over the top, like absolutely over the top. He's like, I can't believe it. I feel good about it. I sound better at it. I have more energy about it. I'm like, dude, you created your first 100 videos. Like, congratulations. You made it over the hump that so many people struggle with. And now you've done 100 videos. And he's like, this is fantastic. And then he's like, okay, what's next? And I said, okay, step 3, go do it again. And he's like, no. He's like, come on. And I'm like, no, but this time I want you to like, when you're creating these videos, I want you to really think about how this video is going to make an impact for who's listening to it. Like, I want you to think about that. Just how is this video going to impact whoever listens to it? Like, what are they going to think? What are they going to feel, most importantly? Or how are they going to react? Think about the three things. And sure enough, Donnie, he came back to me and he's like, and between you and I, the videos were brilliant. Were they always the most polished? Were they always like the most like well versed? He's not that type of guy. But you felt how real, how meaningful doing these videos. His demeanor changed from video 1 to 150. It completely changed. And you could tell he posted these videos all along, which I was so proud of him. The interaction that he got from his community at the end of these was just people were even commenting like, oh my gosh, like, what is it that has changed in your life? Like, what did you do? Have you started like, he was saying, are you dating? Are you doing this? What has changed in your life? And he's just like, nah, I enjoy making content now. In the beginning, it was just another job. It was just a chore. But now, every time I turn on that camera, I think about, who do I get to impact today?
Dude,
Who's going to listen to this that's going to make a difference? Those are the
I,
steps.
I love it. And by the way, this is so simple, it's brilliant. All the best things are simple. So basically, step one, do a bunch of stuff. Make a bunch of content. Post it, doesn't matter. Post it if you want. Step two, go redo it.
Do it again.
Right? And then step three, do it again. But I love it's so funny because you're gonna get a kick out of what I'm about to share with you, like a little journey I've been on. So it's like I'm like, oh, thanks for coaching me, Josh. Thanks for the free coaching. But I love the algorithm. It's almost like everyone's so afraid of the algorithm. The algorithm changed, the algorithm. Like, and it doesn't, YouTube, Instagram, all of them, they change and it's doing this and we all watch and like once you start doing it, you think that that's what matters. But I love that you redefined it because you said the very first thing was, how do you feel? Like, so like the measurement of success should be like what's coming from you. And that can seem cheesy or corny or whatever, but if you don't love doing what you're doing, you're not going to be attractive anyway. But and then the next one is like, how is this? How do you see this impacting other people? They're how they think, how they feel, how they react, and it's like, dude, that's the algorithm we should be going after. And now you're genuine, and even if it reached one, it could reach the right one. I love that. You redefine something really good. Talk to me, help the person. This is a brain thing. This is a success thing. This is a defining success thing, but it can be a lonely road, Josh, to put something out that you think is brilliant and you just thought that the whole world would bow down and say you're the smartest, bestest, or whatever, and you put it out and crickets, or two people like it, or people say they love it but they never do anything with it. Talk to me about that lonely part. Can you be real about what it's like for the artist to put something up and share it with the world and no one reacts? How do we go over that practically?
Yeah, I'm so glad you hit on this one because this is actually something that is really important to me in our Shug U community. As a matter of fact, I tell people all the time just this. It is an incredibly lonely road creating content. The problem is with Adani is we live in a world where you have your keyboard warriors, you have your people that love to have their own opinions and say things and this and that, and it's easy to do on social media. But it is alone. I myself, I'm very honest with this. I talk to my community about this at least once a quarter because you are going to experience what I call social media burnout. You are going to experience sometime or other, social media fatigue, and that's okay. But what you need to have is a community surrounding you, people that you can turn to and be like, I am struggling. Like this sucks. This hurts. If you don't have a support system like that, reach out to me. We'll get you a part of our Shred U community. But Donnie, you have to be willing to understand that you're not putting content out for you. You're putting it out for others. And whether it gets 0 or 1 million views, you just have to be so focused and so truly desiring to help other people through your content that it doesn't matter how many views you get. You cannot focus on that because it will eat you up. I've had so many people come through our organization, Donnie, that they do burn out. And like I said, you have to remember too, you're not an influencer. I'm not training you to become an influencer. You don't need to become an influencer. All you're trying to do is make an impact with your current community. The people that know, like, and trust you, you're just trying to create more of that with them. You don't need 1 million followers. You don't need 10,000 followers. You just need to continue to be there for the people that already like you. That's what you're trying to accomplish.
I love it.
If you get so caught up in the other minutia and so what I call vanity metrics, you're going to burn out. You're going to go through a very dark time. I've seen it. So don't get caught up in that.
Mm, that's so good. Actually, I forget what Seth Godin calls it, but he's like, instead of thinking about the biggest audience that you want, think about the minimum viable audience. Like, what is like, you only really need probably 100 real fans, and you'll be wealthy and successful and loved and all of those things. I'm looking here to questions. I threw them out there. If you have any questions, there are a few people who are here. I can only see you, unfortunately, on the Zoom. I can't see you on LinkedIn Live or on YouTube Live or Facebook. So Get the Zoom link next time, and I'll be able to get your stuff there. But if you have something, throw it up for Josh. Um, so here's a scenario. A friend of mine, all right, me. So I decided, actually, it's interesting that you chose AI. I decided 6 months ago that I have great stuff, but I've been really bad about getting attention. So I took to YouTube, I don't know, a couple hundred videos. Some of them got a few hundred. I got a couple things to a few thousand. Okay, ish. Why do I think my stuff is good and it's not? And so got coached a little bit and realized that my stuff wasn't maybe as good as I thought. And I said, okay, fine. I'm going to intentionally learn something. And so, Josh, I went to, I opened up another channel, probably not the recommended thing, just went to another channel. And I said, I'm just going to learn to tell something that doesn't matter. I don't, if it loses, nobody's like judging my message or my life. It's just, I'm telling stories, success stories. And so I'm almost at like number 90 now. And so we're going to get to 100 before I even judge it. Just short form. It's nothing that's like, changing the world or anything like that. But I love it. And
Mm.
it's been really weird. The stuff that I think should do well doesn't. And then we had the one that we actually felt like probably like on the lower 10% of the things that we've done. My son helps me with the editing. It has like 8 million, 8 point something million views. And so it's like the stuff you think is good isn't, and the stuff you don't think is good is. And it's like, but just like creating it, shipping it, and getting it out there for the world, I just like your approach simplifies it. And it's funny because we were just talking about like, hey, what stories would we like to take another pass at? And so I'm gonna take a page off of your scenario and do that. But do you think, Josh, do you think that all of us should be finding, I don't even know if what I did was a good approach because I separated it from my actual, I just want to master actually 3 seconds of attention. I'm not good at 3 seconds. I've done 100 stories almost. I'm not good at the first 3 seconds yet. And it's like, I'm okay. I'm very okay with it. But what would you say that all of us should be thinking about in the future? Because by the way, AI is also feeding off of these as its search engine as well. So it's not just like, hey, like you made a nice little new acronym. No, AI, ChatGPT, all of these things are pulling from this stuff and will pull from it in the future. Like, what are some ways that either we can experiment or we can jump in? Maybe someone does a story chat. I don't know. Like, what are some ways that you think people who are seeking to grow in this can be at work and play at the same time?
Ooh, that's a fun one because going back to my example, something I did mention this part of the story, but as this person was creating these first 50 videos, he was creating them specifically on mortgage like related content. And he called me up when he was doing it the first time. He's like, dude, I don't love it. I said, well, what do you love? And this guy in particular, he's like, well, I he loves he loves Marcus Aurelius. And I was
Hmm.
like, okay, not my jam. Like, cool. Hold on, not my jam, but okay. I'm like, why? And he told me why. And I said, cool. I want you to create your next 20 on Marcus Aurelius. And so sure enough, he did. And he came, and that's again, I shared part of that story, but he loved it. Just like you're talking about, Donnie, with your channel, so many people that come to me, they're like, well, Josh, I'm struggling with mortgage content. I'm struggling with real estate content. I'm struggling with this content because we think because that's our career, that's our expertise, we have to be creating content around that. And that's what's like, oh, I have to be doing it. Like if I don't, people all the time are like, well, if I don't, then, people don't know what I do and they won't want to use me for business. And I'm like, going to a holiday party, do people come up to you and be like, "Oh my gosh, like I saw your video about the interest rates," right? Like I'm gonna no, they come up to you and they're having a real conversation with you. They saw, hey, I saw little Timmy scored a goal last week at the game. That's fantastic. And then it leads to more conversation. It is absolutely okay, and I give you permission to be sharing the things that are important to you. I've seen people from Marcus Aurelius to baking to sailing. Whatever is important in your world is important to your community. And I mean, like, especially in the world of business, I see a lot of entrepreneur, I see even a lot of leadership. They feel like they have to be so overly like professional. Like, I
Mm,
can't share my real world. And
mm.
I said, then I don't want to be in your world. Like, if you feel like it's so intimate or so personal that you can't share it,
It's I mean, like we go here for an escape, isn't it funny? Our first instinct is to say, "Hey, come to my office, like come be at work with me." A little bit. It's that is so interesting. What is something that you have found, Josh, that you feel like everyone should have? It's like in terms of equipment or technology, something that's accessible that makes either people feel better, more prolific, do it better. I know you have this new iPhone. Your camera looks great. Like it's hard to believe that's an iPhone, right? Um, like what are some things that you feel like we could pick up for under $100 that that would make someone feel like, okay, let's go.
A tripod. Like I'm using a tripod. I literally wish I could show you. Like I could turn my setup to show you. I kid you not. So something we teach in our community as well is you don't need fancy equipment. Like nothing against you, Donnie. I could walk downstairs. I actually have an office here on the boat that has my microphone and my whole soundboard. But I stopped using it because again, so many people were, well, Josh, I don't have your setup. I don't have the soundboard. I don't have all this and that. I'm like, that's okay. I created my app specifically. All you need is a phone. And I tell people,
Hmm.
all you need is a phone. I have AirPods in. These are the new AirPods. I'll tell you what, they're a little more than $100, but they work fantastically. I've been on a couple of podcasts recently. They're like, you sound like you're on a microphone. Like you sound
Sound
good.
great. Yeah.
Guy, ladies and gentlemen, you don't need the fancy soundboards. You don't need the fancy cameras. I had a guy come to me, and I kid you not, Don. This was just a couple of weeks ago. He's like, I just spent $10,000 in podcasting equipment, and I'm finally ready to start creating content. And I said, I actually disagree. I think you're far from it. And he's like, what do you think I need to go buy? And I was like, you need to throw that shit out because now you're going to overthink it. Now you're going to be trying to fine tune everything. And you and I have been there. Dude, I remember those
Wow.
days, like fine tuning my tuner to make sure it
Look
all
good.
sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it doesn't. Like the thing that is most important, like get a tripod, get somewhere where people can see you. Think about your surroundings. Can people hear you? Are you sitting in a busy Starbucks where there's background and everything's going on? It's probably not gonna be the best. Don't overthink it. Perfection kills the progress of your true content creation. So the
I
best,
love it.
literally, if there was one thing I could tell all of you to go buy, is just a simple tripod.
So perfection kills progress of content creation. I think it's a quote from Marcus Aurelius, by the way,
Probably. I
directly
think
to
it's.
tie that right in.
I'm pretty sure that's in the
Pretty
book.
pretty
So
sure he said that. Dude, I love this, man. This is fun. I think all of us, if you're, it's not just even if you're in business. I think this is just a part of being human. It doesn't have to be. You can opt out of something that I think can be a rich part of your life. But Josh, you shared the light of I think like this can be light. It can be simple. We don't have to overthink it. And like we can be ourselves. I think that's hopefully like the permission that people are getting. This is what I'm getting from you. Is just go do it. Just like
not
what
just do it, but remember this, and we can end on this or go to a different direction, but I know we're running out of time. This isn't an example of myself, but we have somebody within our community that they started creating content, and I got a call from them. Our team got a call from them and said, "Hey, I just wanted to let you know that I posted a video that changed my life forever." And I said, "Why?" He said, "Well, I shared this video, and I ended up getting a message from one of my old friends from high school that they were going through a very difficult time. This person had just gone through something very difficult themselves, and he finally felt like he had permission to be real and to be genuine. He shared this raw part of his life, and he said they connected and they were able to help each other go through something that was incredibly difficult,
wow.
very personal. And he said, I want to let you know that you helping me share that, giving me permission to share this has now literally impacted and now both of our families' lives are better. And it's changed my life, it's changed her life, and it's just such an amazing thing. Ladies and gentlemen, the content that you share today will impact people today, tomorrow, and for future generations to come. You just have to be willing to share it. You have been given a God given gift and talent to impact people's lives every single day. And the only way you can do it is being willing to share it. So get out there, share the content, share your message, be real, enjoy it, and you really will have an impact that will last forever.
That's so good, brother. If you are in Fuel, find Josh. He has one of the most popular courses on in the Fuel catalog, and it's amazing for you and for your team. Give the that keeps on giving. Josh, where else can we find you? How can we get in contact with you and your team, in your community? We need this.
Well, find me on social media. If you can't find me on social media, I'm probably not doing a very good job. But Josh Pitts Shred on all your major social networks, or find me and send me a message. Let's connect. And yeah, I'd love to help you and your teams. But go check out Fuel. Fuel is truly, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, it is changing lives. It's having impact in ways that I never imagined. So make sure you and your team are plugging into it and making it happen.
All right. Well, Josh, thanks for an amazing action-packed time helping to amplify leaders out there. And guys, if you can lead better, you can live better.